Hi, job seekers. Welcome back to Let's Hear It From a Career podcast, where we bring you real conversation with HR leaders and founders who are shaping the world of work. But before we jump into today's incredible discussion with an incredible guest, let me ask you three questions. Have you ever wondered what really makes a candidate stand out in the hiring process beyond just a great resume? Have you ever faced rejections and thought, what could I have done differently? And are you really curious about what future ready skills employers are truly looking for in 2025 and beyond? If these questions have crossed your mind, you're watching the right podcast, because joining with us today is one Mrs. Priya Gadge Patil, a strategic HR and talent acquisition leader at Genea, where she is playing a key role in building high performance teams. With over 14 years of experience in transforming people operations, she has also been recognized with the HR Excellence Appreciation of Award 2025 and named the MVP at Genea in 2024 for her leadership impact. Under her guidance, Genea has achieved a 95% offer to joining ratio and reduced hiring time by 50%, which is a remarkable achievement in today's competitive talent market. So without wasting a single second, let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's hear it from Priya Patil. Priya ji, we are thrilled to have you here today. Welcome to the show. So as I said...
Thank you, Ajay sir. Thank you for making this opportunity for me.
Yeah, I quickly come to the first question. It's about your journey and inspiration for a lot of HR managers and job seekers also. Priya, let's go back 14 years ago. What inspired you to build a career in talent acquisition, human resources, and how has your journey shaped the way you view talent today?
True. Thank you for asking me the question about the journey. First of all, I did my MBA, and then I had drawn I was inclined towards talent acquisition during that span of time. That's where I thought that I should go ahead because of my skills, confidence, communication, a curiosity about understanding the people. I wanted to understand what exactly is something that we look beyond CVs. So that's where I thought of contributing towards the talent acquisition department.
So Priya ma'am, I come across many professionals who say that they are feeling stuck in their mid-career. So, from your experience point of view, what steps they can take to reignite their growth and visibility in their particular organization?
So it is a great question. First of all, I would rather step down it in a step-by-step procedure. First is about understanding where you are, what excites you, what is the next level of you, what are your growth prospect terms in terms of 5 years, 15 years. Secondly, it would be a visibility or a value that you are bringing out to your job. How are you contributing to the job? How are you cross communicating with the team, collaborating across the team? Third would be learning or taking kind of an ownership, evolving around the industry that you are into, upskilling yourself. As you are aware about it, like data related things, AI related things are an essential these days, right? So this is something that you have to be into. Again, I would rather also say that there should be something in terms of building relationships. So that could be having your peers, having your mentors, having your LinkedIn connections. You have to grow your professional network. That's how you will make an impact in your career growth.
Great, such an insightful answer. Priya madam, going forward, I have a very specific question, for you today. You being into HR, when you meet a candidate, when you interview a candidate for the first time, what are those subtle qualities or personality traits that basically makes you think this person will thrive in my company? This is basically relating to company culture,
Right. As you rightly stated, sir, yes, of course, a candidate's qualities are equally important when you make a right decision when you hire in the organization. So first of all, I have done more than global hires in the IT industry for more than 1,500 plus people, not the campus one, the individual ones that I'm talking about. So it was really a great experience hiring each individual, understanding the people beyond their CVs. The candidate who can, of course, the technical skills are equally important, but there are certain other skills that we as an HR from the HR prospects look into. So how do they think? How do they communicate? What have they done beyond the CVs? What are the thoughtful questions that they ask? What is kind of a company culture that they would be fitting into? So we, in the company Genea that I work for, we always have an HR round to understand a person as a person, what exactly he has done beyond his technical skills. So that is how we, and during the HR call itself, we understand whether that particular person is going to get hired, what are the percentage that that particular resource will get hired. So that's how we look into it, and that's how there are certain qualities and traits that we look into.
Great. Such a deep answer. See, Priya, you have hired also, but then, there is a point that you have to, at many a times you have to reject candidates also, sometimes even if they fit to the bill, for example, educational qualifications and even the skill sets also. But then from the job seeker point of view, how should candidates deal with the rejections during the hiring process, both emotionally and strategically?
Excellent. So I like this question because there are many questions which come up from the rejection prospects during the hiring process. So there are few things, like rightly stated by you, that strategically and emotionally you have to handle the situation. So right from your career, you step into the interviews. There are a number of technical interviews, then comes an HR interview, and during the discussions there are certain disappointments which takes place, either because of the CTC not matching, either not being going through the final round of interview. In that case, you have to not get self-doubted, or maybe you should not get disappointed. You should rather focus on what will make you better. So seek out for feedback. So strategically, I would encourage the candidates to seek out for feedback. In that case, what went wrong? What could be done to get this opportunity as a right match? So that the moment that you realize that this was a great opportunity, but I could have done it more better. That's how you have to personally look into it, and emotionally you should get stronger. This is something which is you're building up in career. It's not a day journey. It is something which will take a lot amount of time. Consistency is the key. That is what I will say. Make practice thoughtful feedback emails, asking for the reason for rejection. In my company, we usually don't use any kind of an ATS or ATS related. We use ATS, but we don't use any kind of an auto drafted emails for the rejections. What we use is we give them personalized kind of an feedback, so that they are also thoughtful at the time when they reappear for an interview, because the opportunities may come up in future, and that's how a positive impression should be created.
Correct. Job seekers, if somebody is listening, it's not that once you have rejected, the door has closed for you forever. There are future openings coming, and they will definitely consider you in the near future. So no rejection is a final failure. Job seekers, please get this into the mind. Now, coming back to from the employer expectations perspective, I want to understand something. 14 years ago, the job market is different. Now it is different. So what are the biggest shifts you have seen in employers, how they value in candidates today, especially in the technology space?
Okay. So yes, it was a biggest shift, because more than a decade, I hold an experience in technical expertise recruitments. So earlier it was like focusing on what is the technical coding skills, how deep coding skills that, or what tools have that particular individual used. But today, along with the technical skills, that matters is what value that you bring in, what kind of an adaptability that you have, what kind of a problem solving mindset that you are coming up from, how good are you in collaborating with the internal teams, how good are you a culture fit, because there are certain interviews in which candidates are getting rejected at a culture fit round. So be self-aware. How emotional intelligence has come into picture. I've been personally getting certified in emotional intelligence and NLP, because that is also playing a major role when you are been recruiting. So that's how I am keeping myself upskilling. That's where candidates also has to. And coming back to the question, yes, emotional intelligence also plays an equally important part. Active listening. See, there are people when they are just responding, but thoughtful responding is in the critical situations. How do they ask questions during the interview when we actually ask the candidates to ask back? So this is how we have been judging it out. And technical expertise, of course, is a must. But what have you done? So there are people, those who I can share an example. There were people where both of them were in the same technical expertise. But then when we had an HR round, we understood that someone who is coming up with an impactful questions, or the questions which are being asking about what exactly is going wrong. Instead of just answering, it is always better to check it out what exactly is going wrong, and that's how you have to differentiate.
Great. Job seekers, if you're listening, there was an amazing piece of advice for you. Again, coming back to company culture, I have a very specific question here. Once again, skills versus attitude. When hiring, how do you balance the candidates' technical skills and their culture and their cultural fitment and their mindset? Because you have touched this answer earlier, but then I'm just taking you one step ahead.
Yes. So when we evaluate the candidate, of course, the culture fit and the mindset will definitely play an important role, as I stated it earlier. Skills will definitely play a role, but attitude is always a skill. That is what I will say. So you should come up with a positive attitude, wherein your mindset will much harder to change. Mindset is harder to change. Attitude is harder to change. Skill can be taught. Skill can be learned by. Right. And that is how your difference should be created. So the approach towards the work, the curiosity, the alignment of your bringing up the skills to the company's culture and values. So that's where both play an important role, but there are certain rejections which will be happen depending upon the attitude of a particular person. So you have to always be collaborative in terms of creating that leadership attitude towards focusing a positive work culture. So growth mindset will definitely help you. Adaptability will help you. So attitude and cultural alignment are the deciding factors basically when we actually recruit any associate.
Correct. Such an insightful answer. Moving on to the next question is basically on creating an amazing candidate experience. Priya ji, you have achieved an exceptional 95% offer to joining ratio, and I being into recruitment, I understand it is such a difficult task, specifically in the tech space companies. I know candidates who have got 3 offer letters in the hand and are still attending an interview, and we don't know where is he going to join on the date of joining. So considering this factor, and nobody actually talks about it much in the much on LinkedIn or any other platforms. Coming back to this feat of yours, 95% of offer to joining is something very, very commendable job. So what do you think makes candidates genuinely want to join your company and stay there?
So this was really a good question. I would rather like to put it in pointers. So when a candidate is also looking out for a job, he's not looking out for a job description that is matching to his skill. He's also looking out for clarity. He's looking out for respect. He's looking out for sense of belonging. He's looking out for his career to be growth with that company. So it's a win-win situation for both of them. So when our offer to joining ratio is 95% and above, we make sure that we are consistently communicating with the candidate. He should feel valued when he is being interviewed by the company, any company that he goes into. Whatever the feedback is, whatever the interview, if it is taking a longer amount of time for a candidate to appear for a next round of interview, to reduce the anxiety of that particular person, to build up a trust, it is always required for small updates to be given. So that is one thing. Secondly, we also believe in acknowledging the efforts. So connecting along with LinkedIn connections and a kind of a good structured process. So in our company, we always have a good onboarding process. Of course, before that, pre-boarding is equally important. So you should take use of ATS, where you can help them to understand what would be your 30, 60 and a 90-day check-in look like. Secondly, help the new hire to get settled. So this should be communicated before joining. What are the details that are mentioned in the offer letter? So we have an HR interviews. We'll make sure that what culture are you coming into? What exactly is your growth prospects? We have a career graph or a career ladder in which we show them that this is the level that you have come up with and this is how you are going to climb up the ladder. So when you give the clarity to that particular associate, it will definitely help you to understand about what exactly he is contributing to the company. And that's how the offer to joining ratio has increased.
Wow. Great. Priya ji, moving forward, my next question is on women in leadership. As a woman leader, as yourself, you are a woman leader in HR. What advice you would share with aspiring women professionals navigating their career journeys, in HR or in even non-HR faculties also?
I would say that there are a lot amount of women who are coming up as an HR leader, not only in the HR industry but in the other industries as well. You are aware about it. Many
Yes.
CEOs, many good leaders are from the like good background. But there are a few of them who has to take a break because of maternity,
Right.
because of any of the other reason,
Right.
and that's where they hesitate to come back to the same space that they had come up earlier with. Maybe after maternity, the confidence has been loosened up, and then that's where the growth has been stopped. So I personally have supported many women. There are many companies that those support the women who are coming up from a break. In the break time, I have already stated it earlier also in my previous podcast that keep learning, keeps upskilling. The technology that you had used earlier is
Right.
not something
Yes.
that is being used right now. So what matters the more is the purpose of coming back. Have that particular balance. Prioritize your passion, your career. Don't hesitate to look out for any kind of an help if it has been required from the family members. Come back with the same confidence and energy. Keep evolving yourself, and most importantly, you खुद नहीं करोगे तो कोई नहीं करेगा अपने लिए.
Right.
So that's how it is.
Right. Great. Women, women job seekers, if somebody is listening, this was a very important piece of advice for you. Moving on to the next question, Priyaji, is on basically the future of work. And this is one question many people are asking me to, ask to, so many of my guests. The question is very simple. And I think you must have also come across it many times. So how do you see AI and technology transforming recruitment and HR functions in currently and in the coming few years?
Excellent question. Again, AI, ChatGPT, agentic AI, this is something which is the future of industry, I'll say.
Oh, I see.
Not something that only HR needs an automation to be done. To share you an example, IBM has launched an HR chatbot. Chatbot is also one of the form of AI evaluation
Right.
done.
Yes.
So in that case, there were many things in which more than 12,000 hours of time was being saved by the HR people, where the repetitive questions were coming up. So that's how chatbots are helping. I will say rather HR is something where you have to learn AI. There are various leaders, hardly right now there are 20-25% leaders, those who are learning AI. It won't replace any kind of a job in terms of HR, but it will definitely help to elevate HR. You have to embrace AI because it will help you in taking data-driven decisions. It will help you to save your time in focusing on more strategic decisions than going ahead with the repetitive tasks. So now in my personal experience in the HR field, ATS is something that is helping us, but then screening, scheduling the interviews, making it non-biased, making it ATS-friendly CVs these days, because that is a must right now. More
Right.
than 80% of the candidates should have an 80% score in the ATS-friendly CVs. So that is something which is equally important when you are taking up a decision. So for us, because we use AI, these are data-driven decisions that we take up, that what percentage of the skills are been matching to the job description which has been shared. So AI is again helping us in this. Secondly, there are certain automation processes in terms of background verification which has been done. I stated it to you that chatbots are helping. It will make us it will save our time. It will make us to do the predictions. So that's how many things in HR will change through AI, and it will become more efficient rather. That is what I will say.
Efficiency is one thing, Priyaji, but from again, sticking to the same question, but from the job seeker's point of view, and many job seekers
Yes.
are asking me, are job seeker CVs whenever he sends his CVs to you, is he on the mercy of AI to get his CV shortlisted? If I'm putting this question this way, am I right, or how wrong I am, or how right I am in saying this? If I say if any CV shortlisting is based on the mercy of artificial intelligence.
Yes, 80% of the CVs are being shortlisted by the ATS on the skill sets that are mentioned in the CV. May that be any of the Naukri platform or LinkedIn platform, ATS, the AI is helping them to shortlist. So there are certain skills which are being mentioned in which we We make sure that this skills should be must have, not have, or maybe this has to be a mandatory skill. So in that case, you will definitely get that particular CV on the topmost priority when it is coming up to a shortlisting of the CV at the initial screening HR stage.
Okay. So job seekers, there is nothing to worry about. We are actually not using, losing the human touch. Priya ji, I come to the last question, last but not the least, on parting advice. So if you have to give one piece of advice to young professionals starting out their careers, what would it be?
I would give consistency as an advice in terms of focusing on your careers, because as I stated earlier, careers are not something which are built overnight. It is a small step, steady steps by learning, showing integrity, believing in your own journey, not comparing yourself with anyone else. And so consistency is must, and stay curious, stay focused on what value addition that you can come up with. Naturally, you will definitely get a purpose to lead. Have some patience, check yourself, have mentors, upskill, have a positive attitude, think from the self-reflection prospects, emotional intelligence, all these factors. But one advice would be consistency. That is what is needed.
Yes. So, Priya ji, I come to the rapid fire, section wherein I'll be asking you quick questions. I expect you to answer either in one word or one short sentence, as as extempore as possible. Your first question to you goes right now. What's that one non-negotiable quality you look for in every candidate?
A positive motivation that he comes up with.
Great. One hiring myth you wish job seekers should stop believing right now?
Hiring myth, I will not say, but something that I should keep on changing the job every year to get good amount of salary hikes.
Correct.
That is not correct.
Yes. Such a wonderful piece of advice. The best career advice you have ever received?
That you have to learn whatever that experience that you have coming up from. I said that I have been learning or evolving about around the technology. LinkedIn was something which I started using 10 years back. Now LinkedIn is something that is been helping us to get recruited. It was just a professional website earlier, like someone which have the professional connections, but now it is making us to take decisions in terms of recruitment. So keep learning. That is what I will say. Growing.
Great.
Yes. The advice which I got is keep learning and focusing on upskilling.
Priya ji, I move on to the next question. One interview question you love asking to your to most of the candidates or to all candidates?
Yeah. What difference that you are going to come up with? Like if you hire you, what is that you are bringing onto the table other than which is not mentioned in your technical skills or the CV that you have mentioned? What difference will you make? On day one, what will you do? That's how it is.
Great. Yes. If not in HR, what other profession would you have chosen?
I would have chosen to be a doctor. I like people and helping people, so that's a different profession. But yes, that is one of the professions that I like. Surgeon or a doctor, yeah.
My goodness, both are difficult professions actually. Yes. Moving on to the next question, the biggest mistake candidates make in an interview?
Biggest self-doubt. Have that confidence. Have that confidence that this is going to happen and I am eligible for this particular. Doubt creates something. You have to sell yourself. See, anywhere you go in, your resume is nothing but you have to sell yourself. So what are the pointers that will attract? What you have done is already been seen by the recruiter. What extra effort that you are going to come up with? What exactly, how do you market yourself? So don't have that self-doubt. Have a self-confidence and go ahead.
Great. One skill every professional should learn in 2025.
One, AI, data-driven decisions, data-related thing, AI.
Whatless mala. One HR trend you're excited about in the current world of AI?
I am also looking into AI only. I have been certified into AI right now. I am learning NLP.
Oh, I see. Okay. I come to the last rapid fire question of this episode. What makes you smile in an interview instantly?
What makes me smile in an interview?
Other than a
Instantly.
smiling face you already have, but something you see, that positivity or something you see in a candidate during the interview process. This is it.
So I asked them what are the three motivating factors, or what do you do beyond your overall career? So three things. So someone will come up and say that cringe content to be watched, Instagram and social media. But there are few things like what similar kind of questions when I asked them that what profession you would have chosen if you have not into this particular profession.
Oh, I see.
Some people come up with I would be a dolphin trainer, or someone who is an F1 guy, F1 he's fond of F1 races. So someone that way. So that is something which is
Great.
something over and above that I have never thought about. Dolphin trainer तो मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था.
सोचा नहीं. Right, absolutely. So Priyaji, that was such an insightful conversation with Priya Patil madam, full of real practical advice for anyone looking to grow their career. Thank you Priyaji once again for joining us and sharing your journey with our listeners. And to everyone tuning in right now, if you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Let's Hear It From for more inspiring stories from HR leaders and founders. So viewers, bye for now. Please take care and see you soon in the next episode of Let's Hear It From. Wow.